George Orwell's Why I Write. In his essay Why I Write, George Orwell discusses his writing development. The essay is autobiographical. It can be divided into three parts. The first part of the essay describes the author's childhood. The author pays attention to his first experiences as a writer and notes that he always knew about his future as a writer. Orwell discusses his early writing experiences in detail and accentuates the progress that led him to the profession of writing. It is important to pay attention to the fact that Orwell always had a creative imagination, and he was sure that others could imagine their lives in vivid pictures and stories. The second part discusses the writer's attributes or motives. Orwell states that four great motives for writing are typical of any writer. Orwell discusses sheer egoism, the writer's aesthetic enthusiasm, pays attention to the historical impulse, and focuses on the political purpose. In spite of the fact that these motives can be presented in different proportions, all of them can be used to characterize a writer. The third part of the essay reflects Orwell's personal motives in writing and the development of his style, which is rather public-spirited because Orwell wanted to reflect on social issues in writing. Following Orwell's motives, it is possible to state that all writing is political to some extent because the political purpose is always present in writing. According to Orwell, no book is genuinely free from political bias. That is why writing can be discussed as political in a general sense. Accentuating definite social aspects, the author always refers to the political background in detail or generally, with references to the purpose of writing. Orwell states that writers intend to alter other people's idea of the kind of society. Thus, it is possible to conclude, based on references to Orwell's ideas, that writers also have intentions that can be discussed as political ones. In his essay, Orwell uses rhetorical appeals to persuade the audience and realize the purpose of writing, to present the story of becoming a writer and point out the reasons. Ethos is realized with references to the fact that George Orwell is a famous writer, which is why his discussion about the writer's motives can be considered credible. Moreover, Orwell distinguishes between serious writers and their motives and journalists in order to support the reliability of his statement. Pathos is presented in vivid descriptions of the author's first writing experiences, and the emotional appeal is obvious from the first lines of the essay when Orwell stresses, from a very early age, "I knew that when I grew up I should be a writer." Furthermore, the author accentuates that writing is a kind of challenge and draws the audience's attention to the fact that writing is a horrible and exhausting struggle which resembles the painful illness. Moreover, Orwell uses logos in order to provide his considerations with necessary reasoning and states that the background information is helpful for presenting the complex picture of the writer's development. The next method is the depiction of autobiographical situations which contributed to Orwell's writing on democratic socialism.